everybody, it's Dr. Karma Bryant. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Overcoming Narcissist Abuse. Thank you guys so much for joining me on my live. I kind of had to rush and I apologize. I did give you guys the wrong time on Sunday. I didn't know that Helen Sadler Destiny Helper was coming on at 6:20 and not 6 o'clock. And so I kind of rushed, my show. But that's okay because I want to be there to support her just like I want you guys there to support her because she has, incredible things to say. And hopefully you had an opportunity to tune in with her on the radio show on Sunday. It was phenomenal. A woman of much wealth of knowledge, answers, to complex situations and complex cases, as well as myself. And so I'm honored to call her my spiritual mom, my mother, who also is my mentor and my pastor, who helped me in getting out of the situation that I was in. So having said that, I don't know what the title of this is today, but I'll have a title. By the time you're listening to this, I already have a title. And so I just wanted to come on and do some encouragement. I wanted to talk about your self-esteem because a lot of you have very low self-esteem. And the low self-esteem doesn't come from just that one scenario dealing with that narcissist, because some of you guys grew up in narcissistic families. You had narcissistic parents, one or both. You had narcissistic siblings, maybe all of them or maybe just one, family members, friends. Some of you have narcissistic friends. And you notice that those narcissistic friends are very selfish. They're all about themselves and what you can do to help them. And you're not doing it. It's almost like you're in the relationship and you're drained. It's like you're giving out more than what they're giving to you. It's not an equal balance of friendship. And it's like you're with them and you're always made to feel bad about yourself. Then some of you have gone into domestic violent relationship with narcissists. And so it just adds, the cherry on top of the whipped cream, which is probably not a good analogy because that's some good stuff. But, that just adds, just adds, the weight on the camel's back. I don't know. It just adds to it. It just makes it worse. So by the time you come out, this narcissist has made you feel like you are insignificant. You are nothing. But in actuality, you have to remember why they got with you in the first place, because they saw value in you. They saw things about you that you didn't see about yourself. There were things, and some of the things you may saw, you probably didn't realize just how valuable it was. They want to be you. They want to become you. They want to steal your identity. They want to, everything that's good and beautiful about you is what they want. And then they find out that you're human. So you are then devalued because they're looking for the perfect person. They're looking for the person to make them feel good about themselves. They find that person that they think is perfect so they can emulate that person. They can mirror that person, only to find out that everybody is human. And so then you become devalued. And a lot of you have this low self-esteem. And so a lot of times you're focusing on how to help your self-esteem or help your self-worth, but you're kind of looking at from a relationship point of view. It starts in anything in your life, because if you have low self-esteem, you have low self-esteem, period. That means in every aspect of your life, meaning business, friends, and a lot of things. A lot of times you guys don't know how to say no. No is a complete sentence, and people are going to be offended by your no. And so you have to remember, if you say no, you don't have to add an explanation to your no. When you say no, you mean no. Then people make you feel bad about your decision, so they manipulate you. That's like the narcissist did. People will manipulate you to force you to try to change your answer. So if you say no, why? Why not? I don't owe you an explanation. What I said was no, and we're going to leave it at that. And kids do that a lot too. I said no. I'm not going to go explain. A lot of you, with the kids, you're like, because I said so, or because of this, because I said no, don't ask me again. I used to have to do that with my kid because I used to have problems saying no without explaining something and why. And then they changed I'm sorry, you guys, hold on, let me get this out of my face. But, then I had to explain myself. And then I thought about it. I said, why am I explaining myself to a child? When I said no, that means no. Quit asking me, or I'm going to take what you got away from you too. Now we're going to learn a lesson. When I say no, it means no. So little things like that are things that you need to practice. No means no. Your friends, your family, and then people are always going to try to make you feel bad. Well, if you said no, if you said this, well, why? Because if it was me, I would. You ever heard that? Well, if it was me, this is how I would do it. I'm not you. Well, this is what I said. Well, that hurt my feelings. You know what? And then most of you guys, because of the fact that you're touchy-feely. So when someone says, that really hurt my feelings, what they're saying is your no and your boundaries has hurt my feelings. But what you hear is you hurt my feelings. Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to hurt you, because you have this intense or deep longing to be accepted, to be loved, because you've dealt with rejection and abandonment. And so when someone says, you really hurt me, you really made me feel bad, oh, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to hurt you, that's not what I'm trying to say. All I'm trying to say is, and I have to keep my boundaries. So you're explaining what you're doing now. I got to keep my boundaries up. You know what, just go ahead and do it this time, but this is the last time. No, what you need to do is you need to stay, because that's manipulation. I wouldn't have done that. And the last time when I did this for you. Okay, you did that for me then. But when you did that for me, did you do that for me in hopes that I would do this, or in hopes that I would change my mind, or in hopes? So did you do it with strings attached? Because if you did, you're going to get your feelings hurt some more. But my no is no, or my answer is this answer, or that, whenever I ask, whenever you ask me, this is what I do. Okay, I get that, but I'm telling you no. Or, but you didn't even explain to me, or you meant, okay, you know what? I apologize. My intention was not to hurt your feelings. So now they're waiting for you to say, so you know what? I'm going to go ahead and let you do it. No, my intention was not to hurt you. So I apologize if I hurt your feelings. And then you leave it at that. Don't go back and apologize for something that you said that you meant. And when I say that, I don't mean that in a rude way. I don't mean when you've done something and you have to think about it for a minute and you need to go back and just like, dang, that was kind of harsh, or dang, you know what? That was probably harsh. Now I apologize for being so harsh when I said what I said. What they're wanting you to say is, you know what? You're right. I apologize for everything that I said. You're right. Maybe I should not have said that. No, if I say something and I mean what I say, and I hurt your feelings, that means you don't like the fact that I have boundaries and I won't let you cross my boundaries. So you want to use your emotions to manipulate me, to get me to change my answer, right? So what you say is, you know what? My intention was not to hurt you. See, this is where you learn your power and your authority and boundaries. My intention was never to hurt your feelings. So I apologize if I hurt your feelings, but I mean what I say. Or if you don't want to add that to the end of it, you know what? Well, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hurt your feelings. That was not my intention. And then you leave it at that. So they're waiting like, so you going to finish your apology? What did you want me to apologize? I don't like the fact that you told me this and that and this, but I meant that and this, that. See what I'm talking about? But do you see that word game? You see that? That's the same thing that narcissists do. Let me think of another thing. One of the topics that I talked about on Sunday, when I was talking to a lot of you coaches, those of you that are going into the helping field, the coaching field, the mental health field. Listen, when you're going into the mental health field and when you're going into the coaching field, you got to remember you're dealing with hurting people. Hurting people hurt people. Hurting people have emotional problems, and a lot of the people that are wounded. That's why a lot of you are talking about you want to do it free. I would not suggest doing this for free. This right here, yes, when we get on camera, we those coaches, they get on camera and they pour into you on camera. That's something that's coming from their heart. But when it comes to one-on-one services, that's very draining. That's very, because you have to focus on each person's scenario. And then you have to remember, you think that you're talking to that coach and that alone, and that coach makes you feel like you're the only person that they're talking to at that particular time. And their focus is on you, undivided attention on you. But you have to remember, when they come off camera, when they're finished talking to you, there's another person that's lined up right behind them to do the exact same thing. And so we as coaches or counselors are pouring out into you. And when a person is hurt, and when a person hurting people hurt people, and hurting people sometimes are irrational. And sometimes hurting people, they're accustomed to manipulating. So they manipulate the counselor. They blame that they have triggers. They have what's called, transference, where all of a sudden them having boundaries reminds them of the people that have hurted them because they're in authority. That's why I tell you guys, you have to know your value. And when people, you got bills to pay, but you don't have to tell anybody you got bills to pay. You have children to feed. You have this. And so a lot of people are doing this as a business, but as a business, they also have the passion for what they're doing. It's not just a business. It's a passion, but I wouldn't encourage anybody who's in the helping field to do it for free, because they have what's called compassion fatigue, and from time to time, even great counselors, I never thought that I would experience compassion fatigue. I never thought I would feel burned out. And we talked about it, and I taught about it, and I told people, I said, when it gets to the point where you start disliking the people, where you get to a point where you don't care about the problems anymore, where you feel like, I don't even want to deal with these people, I don't want to talk to these people, that's because you're on burnout. It's called compassion fatigue. Your compassion is you are fatigued. You are mentally and emotionally fatigued. So never let anybody tell you, whether you should charge or how much you should charge. There's no price tag on the amount of information that you give them, because a lot of you guys can make some good money off of this kind of stuff. But the point is that never let anybody make you feel, because they've been in a relationship, a lot of them, with an abuser, a manipulator, a narcissist, and they were always made to feel bad about any decision that they ever made. They had no boundaries. Their boundaries were crossed. And so that's the same thing they do with you when they want something. And so a lot of times people will come with you out of emotions. I don't have any money, but I really need your help. I'm not the person to look for that, because the free stuff that you get will be the free stuff that you get on YouTube. Other than that, paid for service providers. So usually when a person, the first thing, and like I'm saying, I'm talking to you helpers now, when a person, the first thing that they say is, I don't have any money, and I'm this and I'm that, of course we have compassion for that. Of course we want to help everybody. But if we help everybody for free, how are we going to live? How are we going to pay our car note? How are we going to feed our kids? And then you're selfish because you won't even help me, and I can't believe that you won't even talk to me, that you won't see. Those are the things you're going to have to get used to, and you have to be careful, because some of you guys fall into that trap where, oh, you're right, they need help. You can't save everybody. You cannot help everybody. There's people out there to help you. Tell when your rent is due, the same thing I said, when your rent is due, tell the landlord, I can't believe you can't be compassionate enough. I didn't work that many hours this week. So how can you not be compassionate enough to let me pay whatever I can pay, or, to get away with it this month but you signed a contract. You decided to get those people to help. You reached out for help. And so when you guys if you give people stuff free all the time, if you're always giving people something free, they never value you. They never value you, period. For those of you that are going into coaching, if you give people something free all the time, they're never going to value you, and they're always expecting you to give them something free. So when you put a price to something that you offer, most people will send you an email, or they won't even talk to you. They won't even respond to you after that. That's too expensive. I can't believe you would charge. Go look and see how some of these other people are charging. And so you have to remember that in your daily life, people will manipulate you. So the best way to learn self-esteem, self-worth, your worth, you have to start practicing with the people around you. And if you're not practicing with the people around you, if you get into this field, it's going to break you. I'm telling you now, you're either going to burn out, you're going to have compassion fatigue, where you may even change your job field. Some people in the counseling field have changed their job field. They have just totally left, counseling and coaching. They have totally left the field whatsoever, because they're burnt out, and people can be ungrateful. People that are hurt can be very, very ungrateful, and then blame you for the pain that they suffer. A lot of them won't take responsibility. Just like a narcissist does not take responsibility, a lot of people that are hurting will not take responsibility of their actions. They will not take responsibility of what they did to, and because they are accustomed to living a life like that, of no accountability, because the narcissists were never accountable. Parents were never accountable. Caregivers were never accountable. So they live a life like that. So what I'm telling you is that a lot of times what you have to do is you have to practice with the little things. Stop looking at big things that you're trying to conquer, because if your major goal is to increase your self-esteem, if your great goal is to be more confident, it's the little things you have to do to build yourself up to that confidence level, to build yourself up. Babies don't come out running. Now, if they come out of the womb running down the hallway, it's called a Stephen King movie. That's what it's called. So most babies do not come out with a full, a mouthful of teeth. That would be a horror movie. Most children don't come out, the babies are not born asking for a bottle. I need some breast milk. I'm hungry right now. I think my diaper is wet. I think I defecated on myself. If that's called a Stephen King movie. Everything is in steps. Everything builds a foundation. Even in school, you don't start off in pre-K and then end up graduating, with your doctor's degree in college. It doesn't work. There's building blocks, there's foundation. And a lot of you guys came in families where that foundation was so tore up. You don't know what good relationship looks like. You don't know what mutual respect looks like. You don't even know what love looks like. You do not know what love looks like. And so you have this image in your head by the information that you've collected, and what you've seen, and you're trying to impose that on a person that cannot fulfill the idea in your head, males and females alike. And then some of you guys are in these relationships and you're wondering, I can't get out of it. You have to make up your mind. You have to make a decision to get out the relationship. You have to make plans to get out the relationship. Everything starts with a plan and everything starts with a decision. And the major decision that you have to make is to get away from the abuser, the narcissist, because you can complain about it all day long. Every day when you talk to someone, you can complain about how awful they are. And then most people's like, they're so awful, I can't believe that you keep getting back into that relationship. Well, you have to remember that the narcissists, especially like the somatic ones, the cerebral ones, the thinkers, if it was that bad, how can you pull it in? When I say that bad, meaning that they have charm, they have charisma, they have personality. Some of them are hilarious. The one I was with was funny. He was funny. Now, he'll make everybody laugh, to include me, so we used to joke and laugh all the time. So yeah, you can look at all the good things, but then you have to remember, what was it that you knew? Because you're balancing, like, I had so many good days. We went on these great vacations. He bought so many beautiful gifts, or she bought so many beautiful gifts. When I look at the good times, I don't want to lose the good times, and then we have this nice stuff and nice cars, and he's always buying me purses and shoes. He's love bombing you in the relationship to keep you there, and then when you look at the other side, when things are bad, things are horrible. And then logically you start thinking, like, this person, it doesn't matter what he or she does for me. This person is a liar. This person is a cheat. This person is abusive. This person breaks my esteem, breaks my soul, breaks my spirit, everything. And then as soon as you start getting to that point, it's called the trauma bonding. And as soon as you get to that point and reality kicks in for you, and logically you need to get away from this person, but then you make up excuses when they're nice to you. They call you, say, you know what, I'm really sorry, and then tell you what they're sorry about. And they're not, and it's a, what we call it, it's a very superficial apology, as long as you're going along with them, as long as you're like, nope, it's over with, and they cuss you out some more and everything. But then all of a sudden, then you're mad at the people, like, y'all back together, but he is the father of my children. She is the mother of my kids. What about the children? See, what you're not realizing is that you're setting a foundation for your children as well. You are setting a foundation for their future as to what to accept and what not to accept. And they're watching us as parents to see how we handle ourselves, what we do when we get angry, what type of relationships we're in. And then 9 times out of 10, when they get into relationships, their relationships are worse than yours. Either they become the abuser or they become the abused. And that is something that's horrible for a parent to have to see their own life play out in their children's life, whether on the abuser side, where they've allowed, when I say allowed, a lot of you are in the situation and don't know where to go. Sometimes you're going to have to give up what you got. You have to give up that comfortable place that you're at to start all over again, because your children are watching you and they need to see that if you can do it, they can do it. You have to give them some type of hope, and it's not going to be easy. It's not an easy thing to have to leave an abuser that you've been with for so many years and become financially accustomed to or financially dependent on. But there are shelters out there. There are women's shelters. Now, men, I'm not sure, because there's not a lot of, there are shelters, but there are not a lot of domestic violence shelters out there that I know of that cater to men, to families, and to women mostly. But those of you that are in those situations, you may have to, hey, I'm in an abusive relationship. I need to get out of this situation. I need to find a safe haven. I need to start all over again. Some of you guys have no education under your belt, so it makes the job market even harder. But some of you are very skilled. Some of you are good cooks. Some of you sew. Some of you guys, do a lot of DIY projects. Some of you guys are good with makeup. Some of you guys are good with, you have a talent and a skill. You just haven't tapped into it yet, because you can get paid for your skill. People are getting paid for their skill. People are making, there's one lady that I follow, Mimi Styles, she sews. She takes the patterns that are already in the store. These are not even her patterns. She takes a pattern and then she creates the pattern and wears the clothes that she makes from the pattern. So on the pattern, they added her name on there, and she makes money off of that. All she does is takes the pattern, these patterns, and makes her clothes and makes these funky colors and all that. I mean, the clothes are off the chain, and she's gorgeous. So she's modeling the clothes that she's making from the pattern. And so she's the spokesperson. So her name is on the pattern too, Mimi, and then it's got the pattern on there. So she's a sew. Some of you guys know how to sew. Some of you guys are absolutely, there's one lady, she sent me a picture of a coat that she was making for herself. I told her I was willing to pay her to make me that coat. The coat that she was making for herself, I don't know if it's from a pattern or from the top of her head, but I said, I am willing to pay you to make that coat for me. Make that coat for me in this color. And I think she kind of downplayed her talent because she's like, oh, it's just a coat for me. I'm like, you have no idea, girl, if I rock this coat, how many sales you'll get, especially with the group of women that I'm around. They believe in investing, especially if you are talented. If you are gifted and talented and one of us are wearing the outfit, we'll go look to see where you got the outfit from. We're not haters. We don't have a problem coming to church wearing the same outfit as you because we'll go. And matter of fact, we have one lady that sews in the church. She used to sew for the runway models. She used to model and she sews for the runway models. Matter of fact, all of us got the same coats. We have the coats that are similar. We have some dresses that are similar. We had clergy attire. A lot of us have the clergy. What are they called? The not the mantle. The clergy cloak. She made us clergy cloaks for the positions that we hold within the church, and so we didn't have a problem. We'll go get masked. Hey, we'll pay you. But this lady, she did not understand her value. She was making herself a coat. And when I said I was willing to invest in her, I was willing to give her my money to make that coat. And you have no idea how many sales you'll get if I rock this coat around the people that I wear this coat around. But I think she downplayed her value, but she could have made some great money. Man, I need to go look at my email to see if I can find her because I want that coat. I need that coat that she made. But think about it. Some of you guys have talents. You don't realize where your talents are. You're so broken from this relationship with this narcissist that made you feel like you're nothing. You're nobody. You have no gift. You have no talents. And you have to ask yourself, so why are you with me? Not ask them. What I'm saying is they came to you for a reason. Everything that they say is in reverse. Everything that they say negative about you is what they feel about themselves. And really, they came to you because you were a commodity. You were an asset. You see what I mean? So don't downplay yourself. Don't worry about what people, you're going to have haters out there. Your haters are the ones that are going to make you. The haters are the ones, it's not the ones that love you, because you have too many people that love you. You might want to question whether you're doing the right thing in the first place. But it's the haters that are going to expose you. Your hater can be your greatest advertisement, your greatest marketing person, that hate you. Think about it. All the thumbs down that I get on here lets me know that even narcissists are watching it. I'm not saying that everybody gives me a thumb down as a narcissist, because a lot of people, not everybody that gives me the thumbs down is a narcissist, but a lot of people that I speak right into their soul, right into their life, right into their situation, and they don't want to hear it, and they're offended. And so because they're offended, you can never get out of where you are. So there are some hard decisions that you have to make. There's some hard decisions that you're going to have to make to get out of the situation, which means you may have to get up and get out of your comfort zone. If you don't feel like working, guess what? In order to get out and survive, you may have to work. You may have to create your own business. You may have to create your own job. During this corona, a lot of people created their own jobs, created their own business. There are so many people that created businesses and it was just waiting. My girl, my sister Tasha, she went out there and we're all about jewelry. When she did that, she got all our support because we always giving her some money for some jewelry. And so she did that's just the type of person she is. She likes pretty fashion, and she is an excellent interior decorator. And so you get her to decorate, I can get her to decorate my tree. And I'm willing to pay her good money to decorate my tree and give her the material to decorate my house for Christmas. The girl is bad. But look at all that talent. Birthday parties, children parties, corporate parties, even designing, if you want somebody to come in and help design your house, or the girl is bad. Some of you guys have some talents, and you guys just sit on your talents, and sometimes you've gotten lazy. Sometimes you're so beaten up that you just got lazy. I'm just got to depend on her. I'm got to depend on him to make sure that he pays my bills. You know what? But that's the lazy way out. And then you make excuses. Well, it's not, he is my children's father. She is my children's mother. And so, I still have to, he don't care. She don't care about your kids. It's all about you. It's about pulling you back in. They don't care about your kids. And you're setting your kids up for failure because they're going to repeat what they see. And women, if your girls see, number one, you're training your sons to be somebody's husband. So either they're going to be an abuser or they're going to be abused by a woman. Then you're going to get mad. Ladies, you're also training up your children, your girls, men and women. You're training up your girls as to what to accept. They're going to get right into an abusive relationship just like you, and you're going to watch your life replay in their lives, and then you're going to be hurt and wounded because you get to see what you look like when you were going through what you were going through. And then when they go through it, they usually go through it even worse than us because we're a little stronger than our children. Most of us are stronger than our children, and you're watching them go through something, and then you see yourself your life play out in their life, and there's nothing you can do until they change their mind. Likewise for you, to set a new standard, to set boundaries, to break old habits, to break old cycles is complicated and is painful. But I promise you, on the end of the spectrum, when you finally get to that point where you can look back over the mountains that you crossed and you say, that's the best decision that I ever made. There are so many doors that were open to me once I made that decision that were closed when I was in the relationship. And there's so many opportunities. I have never been this happy in my whole life, being a single woman, being a single parent, being a business owner, being an influencer, being an author, all the things that you can dream of. Now I'm actually doing it without an interruption and without someone having to struggle with, can I do it? Can I not do it? Without the support system. I have a supportive tribe that I'm along with. All of us are doing things in our lives. None of us are haters. None of these women hate on each other. We all compliment each other. We all support each other, buy each other's, products. I mean, that's what it's supposed to be about. But a lot of you are stuck in these relationships and you have so many dreams and things that you want to do that you know for a fact, as long as you're with that fool that's laying in your bed, not gonna be male or female alike, as long as you're with that fool who's laying in your bed, drinking your water, washing his tail, spending your money, you taking care of your kids and him and your household. And when you need something, you behind on rent, you behind on a car note, you need bills to be paid, you need somebody to help you with these children and stuff. And he's laying up, making you feel bad, like he owe you, so you owe him something. And you're looking at him, but he's not doing anything to help you. Looking good, smelling good, riding good, but you're the one who's financing that. So you got all these responsibility, and then he doesn't even step up to the plate to help you. Or if you're in a relationship, men with women or whatever, you're looking at this person and they want, and you draining yourself and running yourself ragged, trying to maintain a household, and this person is not even adding to. If you want this type of household, it takes two people to have this type of household, this type of lifestyle. You can't depend on one person to do it unless you just filthy rich and you just got some money, and that's what you can do. But the average person is not super wealthy, but you got this guy laying up in your bed, having sex with you on demand, living rent-free in your head, messing with your emotion, messing with your future, messing with your finances. You're always broke. He ain't asking. He's not helping you with nothing. And then you make up excuse. That is my baby's father. That is my children's mother. I can't. We have to respect. No. You need to stop making so many excuses. You're making excuses. You're making excuses because you don't want to take accountability that you're making some poor decisions. And yes, narcissist abuse is very hard and you're trauma bonded, but it still requires a decision. It still requires a decision. Most people don't look for help because they're trying to get out of the situation. Most people are looking for help because they're trying to figure out how to change the person. And you keep letting that person back in your life with the expectation that that person has changed. They're just coming up with a new game because they met new people. So every time they come on, they mess with your heart, they mess with your emotions, they make you feel good about yourself, they cry, they do whatever, and then you open the doors back up to start the cycle all over again. And you already know what the end result is, because a week or two later or a few days later, you know exactly what's going to happen, and you usually repeat the story over and over again. It gets to a point where you're afraid to tell people because you think people are going to judge you because they're tired just like you're tired. So that's enough for today. I've said enough. I just wanted to come on and bring an encouraging word, because I remember some of the things that I said on Sunday I didn't have time to say. And so I thank you guys so much for tuning in. Please make sure you subscribe. Dr. Carmen Bryant, Overcoming Narcissist Abuse. Check out my mentor's YouTube channel. It is Helen Sadler, Destiny Helper. Make sure you subscribe to her channel. If you stick with us for 6 months, it's going to change the way that you think. It's going to give you some encouragement. We are women that are giving you an example now, men, women alike, because we encourage the kings as well, because there are some broken kings out there, some hurt kings. And when kings are hurt, a lot of times, you're getting into a relationship and these men can't even trust. They can't open up. They care about someone. And then a lot of times the stuff that you do, women, when you open up your big mouth, and then you emasculate that man and make him feel bad about himself, he doesn't know who to trust with his emotions. And so you always wonder why you guys are together, but you're not really connected the way you should. That's because he's protecting himself. Likewise for you women. A lot of you guys have daddy issues as well. Mama and daddy's issues for men and women. And a lot of you guys, have problems with trusting in relationship because you never took the time to heal for yourself. You never took the time to realize, man, everybody's not a bad person, but that takes time. And some of you guys are trying to jump into relationships. You're jumping into relationships entirely too soon. So you're not learning from your own mistakes. You're not learning from the things that have had. You haven't even healed. So your open wounds that are festering is going to pull in normally something very similar to what you left, because you're blind and you're going by emotions and you're letting your emotions lead you. Following the heart is not a good thing all the time. Sometimes you have to follow logic, education. Also, you guys, check this out. Calling all empaths. All empaths are not Christians, and all empaths do not believe in Jesus Christ. We understand that. But there is a such thing as an empath. Now, the word empath is usually, it comes from like the New Age movement and all that stuff. But in actuality, empaths are real. Empaths are real. And with my leader, my mentor, she is she's doing a conference on October 24th from 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time to 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 4 hours. And I'm her guest. 4 hours, you're going to have a pastor, a senior presiding prelate, a pastor, senior pastor, a woman on top of that, who's going to give you information from the spiritual perspective, about what an empath is. And just like she says, not every empath is a Christian. That is not true. And she's going to give you some understanding on what an empath is. She's not going to go into the New Age. She's not going into the witchcraft. She's going to give you an understanding of the emotional side, what an empath is. And I'll be there as her guest to talk to you from the clinical perspective of an empath. What exactly does an empath look like in the clinical setting? What have I experienced with the empaths in the clinical setting? And so you don't want to miss it. It is an $80 fee. That's $20 per hour. You can't even get a coach for that fee. I'm gonna tell you now, you can't even get coaching for $80 for 4 hours, because I'm not gonna talk to nobody for no 4 hours. I won't do it. But $80 for 4 hours, that's a very low fee. And some of you guys really need to know, because you got children that are empaths and they feel and they sense everything. And some of you guys don't understand, why do I feel everything? Why do I absorb everything? And a lot of that also causes emotional and mental breakdowns, because you don't understand why you feel that way. So if you're at this, you've got to come in. Some of you empaths need to understand who you are, because you are so relevant in these times. We need people with passion. We need people with compassion and empathy. We need people that care, and you guys are so important. So I need you guys to be there at this conference. You got to hurry up, because seats are filling up very fast, for this conference. And it is Zoom only and it's registration only. The link is in my community tab and on my Facebook. But if you want to register, go to the website, yourdestinyhelper.net, I think it is, or .org. .com. yourdestinyhelper.com. yourdestinyhelper.com. Not when we text you are, but it's yours, one word, yourdestinyhelper.com, and go and register and pay for the conference, and I will see you guys there. And those of you that are wanting coaching, you are welcome to contact me so I can provide you with my coaching fees, and we can set up a time. I love talking to you guys. You guys are wonderful to talk to, and you guys are very, believe it or not, a lot of you find out how brilliant you really are, how strong you really are. You just don't know that. You need somebody else to tell you that. And for me to see your situation, I can give, a lot of times on video, I cannot give just general answers, because I need to know more about your situation. I need to know more about how this narcissist functions in your life and how they think, for me to give you a more one-on-one answer to your question in your situation. And so you are welcome to contact me, and it is Dr. Carmen Bryant at Outlook.com. You'll find the information right up underneath the video. And you can contact me, and I will send you my coaching fees. Also, some of you guys don't need coaching first. Some of you need counseling first. I cannot counsel outside of the state of Washington. My license inside of the state of Washington cannot provide counseling outside the state of Washington. However, there is a sponsored link that sponsors my YouTube channel, and it's BetterHelp.com/Dr. Carmen. With that, you can get a 10% discount. If you're having financial issues, let them know, and they'll assist you with a grant to help you, And it's a nominal fee. Some of you need counseling first, and they do it nationwide, even in Canada. I was hearing great things. So this is a vetted program. BetterHelp is a vetted program, and I'm not going to give you anything that I don't agree with. And so I've heard some very good reviews on the counselors that are on there. So go check that out. Get counseling first, then get coaching. So once again, I do have a book out. It's Unmasking the Illusion of Perfection. You can find it on Barnes & Noble and Amazon. And those of you that are out of the country, if you go to the publisher site, which is Westbow Press, you can get it sent. So I know you guys were having some trouble with the other two, the Amazon and the Barnes & Noble. They wouldn't send it out of country, I think it was. But if you go to Westbow Press, they will send it out of country. So once again, I thank you guys so much. Thank you for allowing me to just talk to you today. I don't even know what the title, even at the end of the video, I don't know the title yet. But by the time you click on it, there's a title. So I appreciate you guys, and you guys go and be great. Have a wonderful day, and know that I love you guys. You guys have a great day.